Hello people who cannot sit at home, thank you so much for being here. So in this video we're heading to Halton Hills, which is about an hour northwest of Toronto, and by the way it was named the happiest place in Ontario. We had so much fun on this road trip. I think this road trip is the road trip to do in the fall time, kind of like end of the summer, fall time, because that area has so many beautiful trees and so many beautiful roads, not to mention lots of things to do. So let's go. Here we are driving through the beautiful roads. Notice how green everything is. Right now this is the end of August, but in about a few weeks time this is all going to be gorgeous. Beautiful reds, beautiful yellows. And our first stop on this road trip is the Main Street Market. It is fairly new. I think it's a couple of years old. So it is a market that is also a small cafe. So over here you can see that they have some really yummy foods. This is fairly early in the morning. Highly recommend you go there in the morning because that's when the stuff is the freshest, of course. There is more choice. And over here is the market, which has just, soaps, locally made stuff, which is great to support local, a number of clothing pieces and home decor. And over here is we got some stuff and we went outside in their patio. So over there was the caprese croissant and the strawberry tart and just water. They have water for free. And here is kind of their area. They have a whole backyard. Really beautiful, lots and lots of space. There were so many people hanging around, gorgeous hydrangeas, just really beautiful place. By the way, last year when I went there for the first time, this is how it looked in the fall. So they add these chimneys, they create the warmth, and they have the pumpkins. So anyway, in the fall time, this is a must visit. Glen Williams Glass, this is also from our road trip in the fall last year, but it's another very close by location that has really beautiful glass studio, so another must visit. And another place kind of sort of in the same area is the Beaumont Mill Antiques. Very cool antique place with an insane amount of, it's almost like a maze. Whenever I'm there, I cannot figure out how it works. It's like it's never ending, it seems. I do suggest overall when it comes to antiques, it's best to know what you're looking for or you'll end up with just the most random things. But sometimes it's nice to just wander around, and over here is the flower frog, which is you put the flower stems into the glass and you put the water and you have like a little composition. I really love that idea. And they also had a bit of a section about the cowboy boots, which was really cool to see. So another really cool place nearby is the Terracotta Country Store. This is my discovery of this year. It has a beautiful garden in front, and then over here you park, and it's this adorable house, and it's essentially a bakery slash store. Another place you need to go here in the morning because they have such a big variety of freshly baked yummies. And over here is what we got. And just to let you know, I have released a really fun book. It's called Free or Almost Free Ontario Destinations, with lots of cool information and some really awesome road trips. And now that we are heading into the fall, I also have a very similar book about road trips in Ontario in the fall and winter time. And of course, both of these books are going to be linked down below. So we got a blueberry pie over there, we got the berry scone, and then we got a croissant with brie cheese and fig jam. And you have to try that croissant. It was so good. Oh, and then we also got a sausage roll. The fig jam with brie was such a good croissant. And the rest of the stuff was also really, really good. And the sausage roll was just out of the oven. You have to go to this place. I cannot say enough good things about this place. And they had a really lovely garden that you can walk around. And they had a number of benches to sit down over there in front of the bakery. So continuing our coolest fall road trip, and we're heading to Erin Hill Acres. I think this was about 20-minute drive from where we were before, so this is a bit further. This is in a town called Erin, theoretically, and I've heard about this farm, a lot of good things, and I decided to check it out. So first things first, the entry was about $12, and over here we bought the trout feed, which was only $1, but oh my gosh, it was so much fun. You get to feed the fish. Basically, the more you throw to them, the more they kind of fight over it, and there's more action happening. And by the way, for $1, you actually get a lot of the feed. So it was me and my mom, we actually shared it. It was a lot of fun. Wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for all of the many people who have started following me in the recent month. And because there have been so many new people following, I went from 6% of people who follow me to now 7% of people who watch me actually follow me. So it is going up. And if you are one of those people who have been watching me but have not yet subscribed, please subscribe.
Ooh. Hi. Hi.
Then the farm has a number of different animals. Over here they have the ducks. Then they had this best friends forever stand, which I appreciated. I'm a huge Friends fan, so here is me. They had piglies.
Bigly. Bigly.
The piglies were kind of far away from us, but the goats were very into interacting. They came over to us. Over here, chickens, and one of the eggs kind of fell out, which was interesting to see. And here's the beautiful view of the farm. This is the lavender fields. Of course, they are done for the season. This is the end of August. But the sunflower fields were still happening. You, by the way, can buy a number of sunflowers if you wish. Wow. Over here is a piano that actually works and a really cool red truck. So basically opportunities to take some photos. And here's another reason why I really wanted to check out Erin Hill Acres and why I think you should check them out as well. So these are Highland cows and they are adorable. The thing about them is that they are very furry, very fluffy, which just adds to the adorableness of them. They're very relaxed, very kind of chill cows. These guys had about, I want to say about 7 of these cows. Some of them were just babies, and some of them are more mature. And it was just so great seeing them munch on grass and kind of be in their element. There were 2 guys from the farm that kind of were there to answer any of the questions that we had. And I actually did have a few questions. Specifically, it was interesting to me that I know that they're also the miniature Highlander cows. So I asked about them, and it turns out that they are actually quite, let's just say, unethical, because they are a dwarf cow, also with the dwarf, so genetically not the best, but they are maybe half of the size of these guys. And the price for one of those miniature Highland cows is like $30,000. Honestly, spending time with the cows was such an enjoyable time. We even got to pet them through the fence a little bit. And by the way, this farm also has a kids play area and sort of like the hay play area. And in terms of food, these guys have an amazing pizza station, and I also got a lemonade. They have a bunch of different flavors. I just got the regular one. It was excellent. So now we're heading back towards the city, and this is the Cheltenham Badlands. And we didn't stop over here, but it's a really beautiful area with this red earth. Entry here is free, but the parking is paid. I've been there a number of times. It is cool, but that's something for you to check out if you would like to, but we kind of bypassed it. And the last stop on this trip was the Downey's farm. Love Downey's. They are actually quite beautiful in the fall. I'm going to show you in a second how they look in the fall. And over here we just stopped over to get some food essentially. And by the way, they have really cool ice creams. And they also already had Christmas stuff out, which is interesting. It's a little too early, guys. In terms of food, I got some Ontario peaches, I got a leek, I got peas over there. So just some nice fruits and vegetables. And my mom got a Snickers butter tart, and oh my god, it was amazing. And over here is how Downey's farm looks in the fall. So usually I think at the end of September, they put like literally a sea of pumpkins. It is the place to take photos. I'm sure you have seen this if you live in Toronto or Ontario. I'm sure you have seen photos of this. To be honest, at this point, it's our tradition. And by the way, to take a photo in front of that sea of pumpkins is completely free if you want to. But another thing to do at Downey's farm is they actually have a really cool experience, similar to Erin Hill farm that we were just at. But I would say this farm is even bigger, especially during the kind of fall time. So they have the animal, like a miniature animal area where you can pet a little bit and just interact and feed the animals. And they have tons and tons of play areas for the kids, like this obstacle course over here. Over here is a zip line. They have a corn maze. They have so many entertaining things in this farm. There is, of course, an admission fee, and make sure to book it a couple of weeks in advance. They do get sold out on the weekend. I'm not a kid and I totally love it. And another amazing fall experience is Carl Laidlaw Orchards. These guys are in Brampton, so sort of in the area as well. This definitely is my favorite farm in the fall. Like, hands down, this is my favorite. This is more for adults. It doesn't have as many games as Downey's farm. It has a little cafe. You can walk around. There is usually sunflower field. There is a river. You can sit by the river. Usually there's also apple picking, and that's kind of closer to the September time. But once it gets towards the October, the farm becomes very gothy and very like decorated for Halloween. I absolutely adore their style. They really tried their hardest to kind of make it quite the experience. Carl Laidlaw Orchards, make sure to check them out as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. What did you think about the happiest place in Ontario? I definitely think it's so very adorable. Please subscribe, like, and share, check out my books, and of course let me know if there are other amazing fall road trips that I need to do. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.